Tikanis, Parakalo.
Souvlaki. Welcome, everybody, to the Thursday edition of the Rowdy.com Big Three. I am Buzz Cutler, standing aside Bassmasters.
The smart one.
Who, me?
No, me.
Oh, you sure?
Not really.
Today's Big Three, we're going to start off with a quote from Kevin Harvick. I want you to take a listen to this.
Dover and Charlotte, you got to know where you need to be when you get back for the chase. So important weeks for us to put the notebooks where they need to be and have a good understanding of the things that we need to do.
Now, Kevin is counting his chickens a little bit, isn't he?
He should be.
He's saying, okay, yeah, I'm going to use Charlotte and Dover to figure out how to get ready for the chase.
Well, he should. He should use Charlotte and Dover to figure out how to get ready for the chase. That's what Jimmie Johnson does, right? Jimmie Johnson gets in a comfort zone and figures out what he's going to do in the postseason. You got to prepare for the playoffs. Now, I think there's a risk-reward equation that has to be drawn. You can get too far out of the box, and then you have trouble getting it back. It's sort of like resting your players for the playoffs, right? It's good to rest them for the playoffs, but if you rest them too much, they get rusty. I think we're talking about setups here. We're not talking about driving choices on the racetrack. We're talking about setups, and Gil Martin, Kevin Harvick's crew chief, has been pretty clear that they're generally pretty conservative with their setups. They just don't want to take Kevin out of contention. They want to make sure they give him something he can race with.
They don't want to take him out of his comfort zone.
Exactly. Now I think maybe you'd be willing to go a little bit more outside that comfort zone because you might find something that works even better. I think that's a good choice, but you can go too far.
I think Kevin's got 2 wins. I think 2 wins is good enough to get into the chase, even if you drop out of the top 10.
He's not going to
I don't think he's going to drop out of the top 10, so I don't think it's hubris to say, let's use these next couple of races to prepare for the chase. I think it's hubris not to, because if you don't, it's like, oh, we got this. No, you don't got this, so do what you can to get ready to got this.
Okay, fair enough.
Issue number 2, Forbes magazine, the venerable publication.
Indeed.
Has named Jimmie Johnson not just the most influential NASCAR driver, but the most influential athlete in the entire country. As a matter of fact, 3 NASCAR drivers made their top 10. Dale Jr. at 3rd and Jeff Gordon at 8th.
Right.
Football is the only sport that had more than NASCAR. Yet, clearly Jimmie is not the most popular driver in our sport. Can you be the most influential, yet not be the most popular?
I suppose you could, but in this case, I don't think you are. I don't really see how is Jimmie influencing people other than with popularity.
Well,
right? I know he gets a lot of TV time because he's up front and he wins championships, and I think that's great. But Dale Earnhardt Jr., to me, is the most influential NASCAR driver. I just don't see any other way. If Dale Earnhardt Jr. decided to start wearing red pants all the time, a bunch of people would go out and buy red pants. You think that would happen if Jimmie Johnson decided to wear red pants?
It depends on the shade of red.
I just, I love Jimmie Johnson. I think he's obviously a great driver. I think he's a great guy from all reports. I don't know him personally, clearly. But Dale Earnhardt, and I don't think Jimmie cares about being an influential dude.
No,
he cares
this is
about
from
winning.
Forbes.
So it's no insult to say to Jimmie, I don't think you're as influential as Dale Earnhardt Jr. I just don't think so.
Well, it depends on the metric you use to measure influence, right? Obviously, from a corporate point of view, Jimmie gets Lowe's a lot more TV time than Junior might get AMP. Well, maybe not a lot, but probably more because he's running up front more. He's in victory lane more.
Right.
You can't, if you want to talk about influence versus popularity, just ask any politician, right? They're not the same thing. You can be influential without being well liked.
Well, I agree with that, but Jimmie doesn't have any real power other than through popularity or media, unlike a politician.
He's got power.
Right?
He's got power.
So, I mean, it's not, I don't know. I think Jimmie's influential. I think Jimmie's popular. I think Jimmie's great, more importantly. I just don't think he's as influential as Dale Earnhardt Jr. when you step back and think about it.
You're questioning Forbes.
What are you going to do?
All right, issue number 3. We're coming up on the All-Star race, and look who made the show. Regan Smith will be in the All-Star race. Trevor Bayne will be in the All-Star race. But you know who won't be in the All-Star race? Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Sure he will. Yeah, he's going to be in the All-Star
Well,
race.
he's going to get voted in.
Right. So what's your problem?
But because he's not making it in, he doesn't get an automatic berth. Is the qualification system for the All-Star race flawed?
No, it's not flawed at all. I think it's great. I mean, this is an exhibition race, but it is a competition. There's a hurdle you have to get over to get in there, and it's called winning races or winning the All-Star race or being a past champion, one of those things. And I think it makes perfect sense. You have a performance metric here. And here's the interesting thing about the NASCAR All-Star race. You take NHL All-Star Game or NFL Pro Bowl or I mean, baseball maybe is comparable to NASCAR, or the NBA. You throw out a lot of the things that make the sport great. You throw out defense because guys don't want to get hurt, and so it's just sort of an exhibition without the same level of competitiveness. In NASCAR, in some ways, because it's a winner-take-all event, there's no points on the line, you increase the level of competitiveness in the All-Star event, which I think makes it great, and I think that means having a performance metric to get in makes sense. Plus, you know what? It is an exhibition race. We'll make sure the most popular guy gets in there anyway.
Well, I agree with you that NASCAR's All-Star event is far superior to that of most of the stick and ball sports. And I agree with you that there should be a performance metric to get in. I'm not sure if it's the right performance metric.
What metric would you use?
I would use
maybe use the top.
I would use the current top 10 and perhaps last year's chase drivers. And then, yes, throw in some winners if you want. But Regan Smith, Trevor Bayne, these guys are not all-stars. They're guys who won races. Those are two different things.
Well, apparently they're not.
Well, in my opinion, they are. And so to say, Regan Smith, you get to be an all-star, whereas Dale Earnhardt Jr., you got to get in by a fan vote, I think there's a disconnect there when Dale Earnhardt Jr. is holding steady at 4th in the points, and Regan Smith got his first win ever and is he even in the top 20?
I don't think so. But, you know, Regan Smith won a race, and you want to put all this emphasis on winning through the wild card. Well, I mean, Regan Smith won a race, now he's in the All-Star race. I think it makes perfect sense.
All right. Well, you're wrong.
Well, I'm right.
Thanks for watching. One more thing. Our good buddy,
yes,
loyal, rowdy watcher and listener, Submarine Mike.
Oh, yeah.
Is retiring from the Navy today after like 87 years of service.
I thought it was 88.
And we were sent an invitation, and we really appreciate being thought of, Submarine
Absolutely.
Mike. We can't make it, but if anybody is in Kings Bay, Georgia today, I can get you this invitation. I'll like scan it and send it to you so you can go join in the revelry at Submarine Mike's retirement party.
Happy retirement, Submarine Mike. That has been your Rowdy.com Big 3 for today. Do join us at Rowdy.com. We're always there, aren't we?
We're always there.
Rowdy.com. Say it like it is.
Say what like it is?
Rowdy.com.
You take away the biggest part. You do the ooze. Part of me. Please don't go.